standards of Common Core are reasonable, and implementing these desirable standards nationwide would be beneficial to all students. Research and evidence-based learning is applied to the classroom environment that provides a clear and understandable and consistent experience for the students. The curriculum is aligned with college and career expectations that prepare them for real-life situations. Additionally, Common Core challenges the students through higher order thinking, offering multiple ways to solve one problem, which in a sense gives them underlying advice to look at things from a different perspective. Build upon strengths and lessons of current state standards, Common Core gives students a curriculum that is common. Therefore, no student should feel alienated due to everyone learning the same curriculum.
So, going against what you were actually saying before, I know they want to lean away from testing, but however, Common Core has implemented more tests than ever before. They now implement the pre-tests and the post-tests now, which are actually evaluations on teachers, and field tests, which have no bearing on a student's grades, so why are we testing people on these?
Common Core is anything but consistent, considering that you're learning brand new material that contradicts to what you've been taught throughout your childhood years. And plus, it's different in every state, so.
And if they want to teach us in a different way, they should start it at kindergarten, not now.
You also said that they offer multiple different ways, but they teach strictly one way to solve the problem, and that's it. If you don't solve it that way, you get marked off. Sorry.
Even if your answer is still right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes!
Like 56.
Fifth point.
5th point.
What would I do across the room?
Ready? The Common Core curriculum is supposed to standardize the material that is taught in schools. However, in doing so, it suppresses the ideals of their ornate personalities and individualized thinking. The curriculum is very strict and firm and does not leave much room for individuality. The Common Core focuses most of its attention on the tests that the kids will take and not so much on the learning process that happens in the classroom. Students now learn to pass the test instead of spending time to learn the material in a way that they can truly grasp at their own level. Students are not able to do this, however, because of the rapid pace in which the material is thrown at them. According to Source H, with the increasing meticulousness of the Common Core standards, material that used to be taught in the 2nd grade now needs to be taught in kindergarten. Increasing the pace in which kids are taught the material removes any room to embellish on thinking and forces kids to master information without really processing it first. One private school in Rochester makes sure that all the parents know that they do not teach the Common Core. According to Source F, the school website reads, "We don't teach the Common Core, and as a result, our students and teachers are more motivated to do more than just master the content." Making sure that kids know how to process the problems that they face in life and learning how to think for themselves should really be the new Common Core. Do you really think it's fair to deprive the students of this chance to think for themselves and show some individuality? This is what Common Core continues to do.
That was your conclusion, right?
No, that was only 5.
Oh, sorry. My bad. You call me.
So your point that Common Core doesn't teach students to learn and only to just memorize enough to pass a test is blatantly false. Contrary, Common Core attempts to, with introducing higher level language arts and math, it attempts to have our students be able to better analyze and use critical thinking. That's why we have more consistent math, even if not every student is going to become an engineer. It's to teach students how to break down, analyze, and solve problems. And with our literary analysis, it's in order to derive conclusions from our reading material. So it does teach you completely how to think and critically analyze things.
Yeah.
No, we haven't made a conclusion.
No, we will.
We rebuttal fast and then we do.
We have
She
7
said-
minutes.
And
Well,
she's,
no, Joseph at 5.
Okay, wait, we have a minute so we can do vocab before.
Okay, so
Yeah.
rebuttal is
Yeah, I
next.
don't know.
okay, so she told me that she was gonna let you do it, but she said, on here it says 3 minutes. So if you guys are still going, we're stopping,
Alright.
okay?
Yeah. Our turn.
So should we split it up into a minute and a half each so we don't take each other's time?
No, we're just
No.
going.
No,
Is it a rebuttal fest, just like
Yeah,
you
just
had
go back and
your
forth.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
someone
why
start,
it's
go.
called a fest.
I got it. Okay, guys, so that wasn't our point.
So yeah, well you guys rebutted, but that wasn't our point.
That wasn't even kind of.
Wait, are we
Wait,
doing the
are we
rebuttal
starting the
first?
rebuttal fest?
Yeah,
No, we're not even done, we have to do
They're trying to-
vocab.
yeah.
We have 2 minutes. Okay,
I don't know. How long are you?
Not long.
Not long.
Not long.
Okay, mine's
Okay, that's
so let's just make
substance.
this quick.
Do you guys want to hear the vocab you're missing?
Yeah. Oh, no.
So for the con side, do you guys have opulent?
Yeah, I said opulent.
You said opulent?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
my first point.
Okay. And for pro side, do you have poignant?
I'm gonna say that.
Okay, listless,
Let's say that.
torpor,
Oh, that's mine.
you said torpor?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it.
And suppressed.
I said suppressed in my.
Yeah, he did say suppressed.
Okay, we got.
Okay, so how could you teach critical thinking skills if you're only taught one way to do something?
Yeah,
If
critical
you're-
thinking is knowing how to do it multiple ways.
And learning how to problem solve, that's all about like, math teachers, they used to love it when you thought of new and different ways to solve a problem that are still mathematically correct. However, the Common Core doesn't allow that. You're only allowed one way to do it. And you're not even like given the chance to be creative.
That's actually not true. Most times if you ask a teacher if you can solve something like a certain way when they think differently, as long as it's not like radically different, like you're just going a totally roundabout way, which would just take up like a crazy amount of time, they will say, yeah, that's a fine way to solve it, as long as you can say it.
The teacher might say it's fine, but the Common Core testers, they're not allowed to give you the point.
Yeah, they get a certain amount of points for doing a step-by-step process, and if they don't do those steps, then they get marked off points.
There are plenty of questions on tests and quizzes where you have to answer it a specific way,
Like
and
step 1, step 2, step 3.
even if that question could be easily solved a different way, but it's just a more complicated and difficult way.
Also, you
They
guys,
do give us more than one way, because literally a question on a couple finals were like, do this 2 different ways.
well, you guys also said it's gonna take 15 years to implement, like, that's a bad thing. But you have to remember, lots of things take a long time to implement. Compulsory education wasn't around until the 1800s.
Yeah.
And the humans have been around for thousands of years. And nations were around for hundreds of years before
They were
compulsory
fine.
education.
So how is that beneficial for the 15 years of students who don't understand the Common Core?
Well, that's like
And
saying.
for the
It takes a
students
while
after
to
that who
implement.
their parents can't help
Takes too
them.
long and is too hard, doesn't mean we shouldn't do it.
Well, there's-
I mean,
the
that's
thing
not
is
what
that
we do.
the next generation isn't gonna
It's
understand.
given
us more time to understand what they're trying to teach.
In addition, if you look at states like Mississippi, West Virginia, their entire education
They cheat on
systems.
Common Core anyway.
Or-
On Common Core anyway.
Okay,
Georgia
well,
teachers give them the
If they
answers.
cheat on it, we
Because they
better
often
not
have
do it.
low budgets for educational systems, and their entire system, they're in poverty, and their entire system is in collapse.
Alright, back to
So
going
if I were
over
going
it, I'm like
to
doing
say that's the best
things
Alright,
a
anyhow.
separate way.
We need some
Like,
order to this.
when you can't do a thing a separate way, when I think we've all been in that math class where it's like, write this in a recursive formula, like that's one way to do it. They make you know one way.
You mentioned that it's different than what you completely learned. It's completely different from what you learned when you were little. You're learning a different way. And you're learning that there's another way to do what you learned
But they're
back
teaching
then.
us that the old way was wrong.
It's not wrong.
But
But that's
yeah,
what they're
exactly,
teaching
it's
us.
not
That's what
wrong.
they're teaching us.
Bring us back
When
to
you
our-
do
No,
when
it's
you
not
do it the
wrong.
old way.
They're
And
teaching
you're
it a
fine.
way that like makes the old way make sense, so like you understand what you were doing
The old
back
way
then
made
rather than
sense.
this
The old
is
way
what
made
this
sense.
equals.
It was
Oh, the old way makes
Oh, but you
sense.
guys are
Let's
talking in
get
a
that.
math sense. We're talking like English as well. Like you know how in 9th grade they taught us the critical lens, and then how in 10th grade they completely removed that from the curriculum, and we don't learn how to do critical lens anymore. And that's wrong. I mean,
Unless
like,
perhaps.
Separately.
Alright,
Just because
so
we didn't
rebuttal
like it,
fest
it
is
wasn't
over.
easy, doesn't mean it wasn't necessary, as you guys said many
That's
times
over.
over.
Okay, so now she gives you a little bit of time to gather your conclusion. Or you just
We
go?
don't need time.
We don't have
This
time.
debate was so real. Oh my god. Our class
all of
never.
our debates.
We're debating dress code. Tomorrow, I'm so excited, and we're all like, my side is tastefully dressing against dress code tomorrow. I'm like, I just against dress code every day.
So what are you wearing tomorrow?
I'm wearing like a dress with spaghetti straps. Because there's tasteful, like, just because you're against dress code doesn't mean.
Give me a tramp.
Exactly. Like I hate the dress code so much, and so I'm so happy I got on the con side.
Yeah, like pros and cons. Yeah, this is all of our debates, so
Yeah.
it's relevant.
I wish this was ours, but we have one specific person who did dress rebuttal. So.
Although many students are apprehensive, frustrated, and dare I say annoyed with the Common Core standards, it is truly beneficial for all students. Common Core has a common goal to level the playing field. I've been taking Common Core since I started high school, and I'll admit it's very frustrating. However, I do believe that structured and consistent, yes, it's consistent, curriculum has helped me along. The curriculum is set up in a way that made me personally understand why I was doing something. With Common Core, they don't make you, in the words of Nike, just do it. The curriculum makes you understand what you are doing and why you're doing it. By bringing the student through a yes, long and frustrating process, but eventually leading you to the outstanding revelation of, oh, so that's why we do it. In addition, the aforementioned detail regarding perspective comes into play more often than one would think. In recent events, the math problem 15 minus 7 was presented on Twitter. The answer is 8. The students had to employ a subtraction sequences based off of 10 to find the answer. So 15 minus 5 equals 10, and then 10 minus 2 equals 8. Yes, it's challenging and confusing and complex, but that's the point. Common Core is not offering simple problems like 2 plus 2 equals 4, because that's not what you're always going to get. Things are not always going to be simple. Life isn't simple. With Common Core, students won't be sitting around listless and bored because they will be challenged and engaged and challenged. When they come to a challenging life, they're not going to look back on their school life poignant and thinking, oh crap, why didn't I think about it that way? Because the idea of Common Core would have shaped their minds into looking at things from a different perspective and realizing that there are other ways to solve the problem. The universe is big, it's vast and complicated and ridiculous, but these academic standards will help our students in the future see and understand that there's so much more to this world than the average eye is allowed to see. And that's what Common Core is. It's more than average, and it has the potential to nurture and embellish and establish brilliant minds.
Let's hop back, Joe.
Common Core is unjust to students, teachers, and parents of the United States. Common Core has caused unnecessary anxiety, stress for young students that shouldn't be needed. This anxiety and stress can develop into serious health issues down the road. Many students, just in our school alone, have had to drop out of Common Core math because the teachers cannot help them, because the teachers barely know what they are teaching. The kids are also being stripped of their individuality and free thinking skills when learning Common Core. When learning Common Core, they teach them one way. That's all they can do, and whenever they try and go outside the box and be different, which is what we love in the United States and what we want people to do when they're adults, how can they be like that when they're adults when they can't even be like that when they're kids? The students then lose their creative ideas, and this is a disservice to the world. Eventually people will be able to think different, students will not be able to think differently from one another, and every person in the United States will all be mindless robots just completing a job. Sometimes they teach a certain way that just is completely irrational to some students. They don't learn that way. I don't learn the same way as everybody in here. So why can't the teachers learn different ways to teach students? Common Core is completely disorganized and it does not provide a stable system. They have the federal government saying that it is completely equal, yet states can deviate from it. So why implement something that isn't prepared and completely stable?